Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today at Columbia University Medical Center for one of our Black History Month live events. Last week, we had quite a number of people join our event, and this week, as normal, we would like to continue these events with our chef Cooley, who will be showing us an amazing recipe and will take us step by step with how to make this meal. So on behalf of our panel, Bernice, Nicole, Tanya Richards, and myself, and along with Chef Cooley, we would like to thank you for joining us here today. I'm going to turn it over to Bernice, who will introduce our Chef Cooley today.
Thank you, Shatika. So before Chef Cooley shows us how to make this delicious meal, I want to give you a full introduction of who he is and how he started. So barbecue chef Philip Cooley Jr. is a self-taught chef born and raised in the South Bronx. He was exposed to the barbecue wood world while at local parks in the tri-state area or events with family and friends, where he often found himself behind the grill. Before long, he was the man called if someone wanted a successful barbecue with amazing food. After working with the New York City construction field for over a decade, Chef Cooley found his love for food and barbecue. Over the years, he began to develop his individual cooking style consisting of recipes tying back to his family Carolina roots in the South mixed with a touch of influence from his wife's Latino background. He then pursued his passion and participated in several food competitions throughout New York City. These competitions not only rewarded him with trophies and recognition, but also motivated him to launch Cooley's Barbecue and Catering, LLC. Since the company's launched in 2017, Chef Cooley has catered numerous events, each month with a variety of made-to-order menu items, partnered with New York City Hester's Street Fair for public events since 2018, and hosted a pop-up brunch with a kitchen takeover at local New York City bar Boys Don't Cry in February 2020. Once the COVID-19 pandemic emerged in March 2020, Chef Cooley felt the need to do something charitable and beneficial to the neighboring communities. As quarantine project, he designed and constructed his own outdoor backyard barbecue kitchen. This promoted the idea to have an event each weekend titled Cooley's Barbecue Backyard Kitchen Sundays, with the goal to provide people with a home-cooked Sunday dinner while helping elevate the stresses of the world. The menu sold out in a matter of hours, following its grand opening in May 2020, and the cookouts continued throughout the summer. Following the success of the Backyard Kitchen Sundays initiative, Cooley's Barbecue was able to pay it forward by donating full catering services to local institutions, including St. Joseph's Hospital in Paterson, New Jersey, Fair Lawn Police Department, Fair Lawn Fire Department, to name a few. Finally, customers will no longer need to live or travel to Fair Lawn, New Jersey to join these dishes because Cooley's Barbecue and Catering has partnered with Seatown Market in Harlem, New York City. This newly formed Southern influenced food station will offer a wide-ranging menu of prepared food for the people of Harlem beginning in February 2021. So, with all that being said, I am so excited to see what he's gonna cook for us. So if Chef Cooley, you can tell us and introduce your dishes and what you're gonna have for us, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's much appreciated. I'm Chef Phil Cooley. And today we were preparing a bourbon whiskey barbecue chicken with a side of mashed sweet potatoes and a green apple coleslaw. This is a dish that was a hit throughout the summer. People loved it. So I'm so excited to bring it to you. A dish that's easy, that's simple, and I think you'll love it. So if we're ready, let's get started. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I have some water here. It's about half a gallon of water. And we are using a few different cuts of chicken. We have the legs, the thighs, and we have the chicken breast. So I already cleaned it. And by cleaning, I don't mean soap, water, vinegar, that whole process. Just mean that I trimmed off the excess fat, make sure it's nice and clean in that sense, no extra fat, no extra tissues that we don't need. So just nicely clean cut chicken. Now, for those that don't know, a brine is when you take a type of meat, chicken especially, you submerge it in water that has been seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, and let me see, salt, pepper, garlic, and sugar. So the question may be, why would I brine or submerge chicken in the water? The goal is to build flavor. Whenever you choose to cook any type of dish, the goal is to build levels of flavor. So what the brine does is two things. The first thing is the seasoning with the water helps break down the fat and the membrane of the chicken, which results in a much tender piece of chicken. The second part of it is the flavor. That garlic, that salt, that sugar is going to penetrate the chicken and add another layer of flavor. This way, when you eat it, you're not getting a barbecue flavor, barbecue sauce, get down to the middle of the chicken and it just tastes like nothing. So once again, building layers of flavor. So we have neutral cool water here. I'm gonna add the seasoning to it. Get my whisk. Whisk it up. So you could brine a piece of chicken anywhere from 15, 20 minutes that we're gonna do up until, 24 hours. Just gotta cover it and, put it in your fridge. So right now, chicken's in. Let me wash my hands. Okay, chicken's good to go.
Chef
Also,
Cooley,
yes.
really quick. So when you said to wash the chicken, no soap, right? Just making it clear. We've
Yes,
seen it
yes.
on the internet. People wash chicken.
I think that's one of the biggest debate. Should you wash a chicken, which most people will use some type of vinegar or lemon juice, try to kill the bacteria. But honestly, the heat from the oven would kill any type of bacteria. So there's no need to really take the extra step. If you're not making an extra step to season or flavor the chicken, it's really not needed. The best thing is try to keep your chicken in one area so you don't contaminate your kitchen. And the process, like I said, of cleaning the chicken for me, would just remove that excess fat, the extra skin, and that's really it. That's my concept or idea of cleaning chicken.
Got it.
Perfect. So right now, my oven is preset to 375. My chicken is in a brine. We're gonna brine for about 15, 20 minutes, which is the minimum. So next step is, oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. I have to add a lemon to the brine. Squeeze that in real quick.
Nice. And when I was reading your bio, I noticed that you worked for construction. So besides being the man at the barbecue that everybody wanted, what was your passion? Like what brought you to creating your own kitchen in your backyard, to eating healthier? Like what was the reason for that?
So the first thing was my wife, to be honest with you. So when my wife was pregnant with our first child, her doctor pretty much told her that she had to eat very healthy, try not to eat out, not a lot of sodium, not a lot of starches. So I just jumped in. I'm like, hey, for you to eat home, I want my wife to be safe, to be healthy, I want our child to be healthy. So I started going online, looking at different menus, speaking to some friends, and trying to figure out what's the best dishes I could prepare for my family that's good for us, healthy for our child. And for some reason, it hit me. Like I enjoyed it. Cooking ended up being like a stress reliever, a time to actually give back to my family, and eventually my friends, and it turned into something I could never ever forecast.
Nice. And do your kids help you? Are they involved in the kitchen?
They are. My kids eat very simple, straight to the point, but the same way my mother taught me, my sister taught me how to cook, was the best rule, I think, is cook what you like to eat because you know how it should taste. If your thing is shrimp scampi or your thing is salmon or chicken, you know how it should taste. So you know right away if you're on the right path or not, and you're excited to cook it because it's something you enjoy to eat. So I think that's the biggest rule where anybody want to learn how to cook. Cook what you want to eat, what you enjoy eating. Then you start venturing it out to other things.
Got it.
All right.
And so your confidence builds to venture out, just trial and error. Like were your family like the little guinea pigs? Like, try this. How does this taste? You went from there.
Correct. So my family's from South Carolina, Orangeburg, Florence, and we just very wholesome Southern dishes. A little heavy. You got the macaroni and cheese, the collard greens, cabbage, the fried chicken, which I love. We all love and enjoy. But what I try to do is lighten up a little bit. So that's the root. That's my platform I stand on. And I'm just trying to elevate it to a level where smaller portions and swoop out some ingredients to make it a little lighter, a little healthier.
I love it.
So we said the chickens in the brine, sweet potatoes. Love these guys. Love these things. So this is a sweet potato. What I did was I peeled it and cut into slices. We get these in the oven at 325 right away to go to get tender. Most people love to boil the potatoes, but for some reason I feel like the water takes away from the natural flavor of the potato. So I put it in the oven, let it go. So let's get it going. Got an oven safe dish.
And you're just gonna bake this?
Yeah,
or are you broiling it?
We're gonna bake them. Nice,
Okay,
low and slow, 375. So mine's a separate cut. The third is inside. We add a little bit of water because when I cover it, I'm doing like a double cooking process. The oven is enclosed, and then the dish is enclosed. So all that steam, the heat can just bottle in, and hopefully cook the sweet potatoes a little faster. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and the water's gonna create steam, which is gonna actually cook the sweet potatoes a little faster. So it's covered. So you know, I'll put a little piece of aluminum foil, and I'll put this glass top. So if you don't have this type of dish, you're using an aluminum pan, any oven safe dish that you would at least cover with aluminum foil or top, anything along those lines will work.
Chef Cooley, do you have to wash the potatoes beforehand, or just you can slice them up, add some water, and do what you just did here?
In most cases, what I do is I do wash the potatoes so I get them from the supermarket, and then I peel them. Once you peel them, it's not you have to wash them. They're good to go.
Got
So
it.
peel it, slice it, and the slicing of potatoes actually is an easier time frame for it to get tender. The goal right now is just to get the potatoes tender naturally.
Okay.
So potatoes can go for probably about 40 minutes. 35.
Okay.
We'll check it at 30, but it's like about 40 minutes usually. All right, so that's going. We're gonna move over to one of my favorite things, which is the Cooley's barbecue dry rub. It's basically a seasoning that's good on everything. It's my go-to for flavor, my go-to with chicken, beef, it's for everything. So we have brown sugar. You can use dark or light, garlic, salt, pepper. This is one of my favorite seasonings right here, which is lime chili. Basically just chili powder with shards of lime in it. And smoked paprika, another one of my favorites. So we'll mix this up. Let's just use my hands for it easier. Because the brown sugar gets a little hard sometimes, so we can just mash it in. That looks good. Chicken's in the brine. We're doing good. Okay, so that's good. Let me wash my hands.
Chef Cooley, I turned off my video so everyone can see you, just you. Obviously, you're the star of the show. But a question we have for you, why do we use brown sugar rather than regular sugar?
Brown sugar it's just the concept of the texture of it. Brown sugar is not as sweet, and if you're using dark brown sugar, it has molasses. It's a flavor component. It dissolves different. It reacts different. And anything that comes to like, I'd rather not use regular sugar. It just doesn't. In my opinion, the flavor is not there. Brown sugar has a little extra oomph to it. And so you use dark brown sugar and a molasses flavor. So again, just trying to build flavors. And sugar just gives you, natural sugar is just naturally just sweet. We want more than that.
Thank you.
Sure. So we got the dry rub ready. And let's move over to.
So if we have less experienced cookers, is it a good idea to have your dry rub, like do it in bigger quantity? That way, like when it's time to do chicken, you just spread the rub and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about seasoning and like any particular like measurements. You just have your dry rub aside. You just rub it on your chicken and you're good to go.
Because the goal is, not to do the same process every single time you want to cook. Try to find shortcuts. And like you just mentioned, one of the biggest shortcuts is, if you do a dry rub or a natural rub, rather than go to adobo, which is fine, you want to use adobo, but if you want to do your own personal type of rub or seasoning rub, do it in a large batch. Season it, put it together, put in a bottle of some sort, make sure it's airtight, and just store it. This way, it's always there you need it. So it's one less step you have to do when you're cooking.
Yep, thank you.
Sure.
Especially for working parents who are on the run or quick, they need to get dinner ready. It's nice to have something on the side that you just put it on your chicken and it's going to be done in like 15 minutes. Exactly.
So next thing we're doing is we're going to create and build the bourbon whiskey barbecue sauce. Now, we have first thing, ketchup. Ketchup's in the pot. Lemons on about, let's go with low for now. So we have ketchup. Then we have.
And I just want to say shout out to your amazing camera person. They're doing an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. That's my lovely wife. Right, so we got bourbon, and we have apple cider vinegar. We have some honey, some all natural honey. So, build skin, trying to build flavor. Mustard. This is all regular natural yellow mustard. Put that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take about 1 tablespoon of the dry rub that we mix together. Put that in there. A little bit more, but we good. Now I'm going to do just mix it together. Now, for those that like the alcohol flavor, don't worry, it's going to burn off. It's going to cook for about a half an hour. All the alcohol we just poured in, it's going to be burned off. This will just leave the flavor. So mix this together. And if you're not a big fan of bourbon, you could use any type of dark brown liquor, bourbon, whiskey, Hennessy, any type of cognac. All works great. So this. All right. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'll move this to the back burner.
I just want to give kudos to the camera person.
I just said that.
Up with you, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we just move
exactly
this.
when to zoom in so that we see all the spices.
Yes.
All right, just a quick recap. Chicken's in the brine, dry rub's done, sweet potatoes are in the oven. Bourbon barbecue sauce is on a nice low simmer. Mix together. So we doing good. We on time. We catching up. We doing good. So next thing is let's get this chicken going. So what we're gonna do is take the chicken out the brine. Pour off the excess brine.
Chef, you said you do this with salt?
Yes, the brine contains salt, sugar. You can stop there if you like. But then I also go into adding garlic, black pepper. Very simple brine. Some people use bay leaves, different things. But
and that won't make, that won't make the chicken salty?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because actually the sugar is going to counteract the salt. So it's like a yin and yang.
So it's like a science project.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're gonna do is pretty much want to get the chicken nice and dry. We want to excess all that excess water. So we got the chicken leg, chicken breast. Get it nice and dry. Put it back in. And so you can give whatever you like, a chicken breast, boneless, skinless, or you can go with dark meat. So get a little dry. So it's good to go. Wash my hands again. So we have one of my favorite pots. This is a ceramic pot. Very heavy, very durable, can withstand very high heat, and it's great for cooking. So I would definitely, fun fact, if you can't find one, get one. It's worth it. It'll change your life in the kitchen.
You heard that, Nicole? I'm gonna give you one for Christmas.
Actually can second that. That pot is extremely amazing.
And it's
The
so
idea
heavy.
that
You
it,
will not be giving it to me for Christmas. You will be giving
yes,
it to
we have to make sure that you get one of those. So it actually heats very evenly. And the even heat is what causes all of the food to get done at the exact same time and evenly.
Okay, so next, chicken's been in the brine. You see a little accents of the salt and pepper that's in it. It's dried off, some excess water. Next, we got the dry up. So pour in the dry up. Seems like a lot, but it's definitely, it's not. All right, so my water ready. We'll get this all over. Just rub it down. All right, looking good. So we have our breast, bones breast. We have our thighs, and then we have our drumsticks. Right, the chicken's good to go. So we're gonna add the barbecue sauce yet. It's still rendering down, still burning off all the alcohol. So don't worry about it. Let's keep it nice and low. We'll cover the chicken. And the chicken's going in the oven for about 30 minutes.
Chef Cooley, do we want to burn off the alcohol? Or
Yes.
does it matter? Yeah, okay.
You definitely want to burn off the alcohol. Unless you want to basically it's like having a drink. It's like having a Bloody Mary. You really want a Bloody Mary barbecue drink.
Oh, I
Alcohol
see, yeah.
So you want the flavor, but you want the alcohol content. Whether it's kids eating the food or it's just gonna be very bitter. It's pretty much like almost inedible. You want the flavor, but you don't want the actual alcohol.
Gotcha. So then like when we go to Dallas BBQ and they say, oh, the Hennessy wings, that's a lie. It's just that they made it with Hennessy. It's not like you're gonna taste the actual alcohol in it.
You'll taste the flavor of Hennessy, but the alcohol component of which you won't get. That's literally burned off completely.
Got it. I get it now.
All right. So right now, just another recap. The barbecue sauce has been good.
I see that there are a few questions in the chat.
Okay.
So someone asked, is that a Le Creuset cast iron? And any reason why you prefer this over a traditional cast iron?
It is. It is that pot brand, like I said. And what I prefer over a traditional pot is the quality of it. It's the fact it's a ceramic pot. It contains the heat in. You're not losing it. It's like almost like cooking in like a Dutch oven concept. It's almost similar to a slow cooker. It keeps everything in. the way that it maintains heat at a great temperature where it's evenly balanced. It's not hot on one side, one on the other, so it keeps it very even, which we want. The worst thing is to have one piece of chicken that's fully cooked and great, and no piece of chicken that's raw when we get to the middle. So it's a very even cook, and it's very balanced.
I agree. I actually did I used a cast iron as well as one of those pots and saw the difference in how it cooked a meal and how soon it cooked it.
Exactly. Okay, just to recap, sweet potatoes in the oven cooking, chicken's in the oven cooking, barbecue sauce, rendering down, and now we can start on our cabbage. Coleslaw, excuse me. So, get my ingredients over here. Smooth these up.
While you're getting your ingredients, someone says, I believe brining the chicken is to help the protein retain moisture, which is highly recommended.
Correct. It does two things. One is definitely keep the moisture. The salt, the sugar components, the aromatics breaks down the texture of the chicken and the fatty muscles. And also, it also flavors the chicken so that you're not only getting the sauce, no seasoning you put on top, you're actually getting the chicken itself has flavor. So again, building flavor. So first level of flavor, brine. Second level of flavor was a dry rub. The third level is gonna be the bourbon barbecue sauce. So this way, you're getting levels of flavor throughout the whole experience of eating chicken. So now, we'll get ready to do a coleslaw. We have a purple cabbage. Go off the ends.
Chef Cooley,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
I'm getting some questions. Where can we find the white sauce and the rub?
Okay, so right now, Cooley's white barbecue sauce is currently sold on Walmart and Amazon.com. The dry rub is sold out. It should be back within a few days. But
I just love your camera person. She zoomed in. This was great.
She's doing a great job.
She is. And who's the person there helping you next to the white sauce? The bobblehead.
It's a good friend of mine. So like a custom bobblehead of me.
Gotcha.
I think I might have to go to the gym a little bit to be that size. But I'm working on it. One thing at a time.
It's okay. It's like the movie Twins, right? With Arnold and what's the other guy? I forgot.
Shut guy. What's his name?
Danny
DeVito.
Thank you. Oh, and she speaks, the camera person. Yes.
All right. So let's get this quarter cabbage. Let's get it chopping. That's good. All right, let's break this apart. Right, got the red cabbage in, purple cabbage. We got the green cabbage in. Got a little quick toss. Looking good. So I move this over. Got our carrots. So what I did was, peel carrots, cut the ends off. What I like to do is basically have shavings of carrots in here. So we have a regular potato peeler. I just need to set this back and forth. Now, once again, you can also buy the cabbage, the green cabbage, the purple cabbage, the carrots. You can go to the supermarket and buy everything shredded and put together if you like. Definitely will save you one step. But if you have time, you don't have to do it yourself.
And we have another question for you. Do you change up your knives or is this your go-to?
I have a few different knife sets. This camera set I'm using is pretty much my go-to. It has a few different sizes to it. This is my everyday go-to knife. If I'm really cooking, I have a global set of knives that I love. Very sharp and great knife set. So you have typically you have a few. Type of mess.
You said that the brand was Global?
Global, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we got our green cabbage, we got our purple cabbage, we got our carrot shreds. Now for the green apple. You wash it.
While you're washing that, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Thank you. How does the chef keep his knives sharp, keeping them clean, or does he have a knife sharpener?
I do have a knife sharpener. Definitely do not put your knives in the dishwasher. It's not dishwasher friendly. But definitely just clean them with hot water and soap, dry them right away, put them away, keep them stored, away from the other dishes so it won't get cracks or chips on it as a mix of other knives and forks, things of that sort. When we add chicken barbecue sauce, make sure it's not sticking. If it's sticking to the bottom of the pot, that means that the flame is too high. So if anything, you may want to reduce it a little bit. And you smell it, you can smell the bourbon, you smell the whiskey. It smells strong, but it's settle down a little bit. All right, green apple, really leave the skin on. I love the texture of the skin, gives you another bite to the coleslaw. So we put in 4. Take the seeds out. But I would definitely recommend start off with a very simple knife brand that's not too sharp. Then as you homing your knife skills, then start upping your knife brand. This is a pretty medium high level of a knife, so it's very sharp. So remember, you're cutting, always keep your fingertips away from the blade. So you use your knuckle to almost use it to push knife away from you. So knuckles tips in, knuckles out, knife top against, and I've got a nice even cut. Now, I'm gonna use a shredder if you want, but just to show you, nice even cuts. Looking good. Same thing. Nice.
Does it matter what type of apple? Is it red, pink? Does it matter, or you just chose green because you like green?
Yeah, it's the taste. It's not as sweet as a red apple. It has more of a tangier taste, which you want. Because it's all about building flavor. So sweet potatoes is gonna be on the sweeter side. The bourbon barbecue chicken has its own barbecue, woodsy flavor, smoke flavor. So now you want the coleslaw to have that acidity from the actual salad, from the apples, and from the dressing. It's like keeping your palate, refreshed. You probably won't need a whole apple, probably just need half. But obviously, you want to add more, you can. So good to pretty much strings. If you have a mandolin, by all means, you can use it to shred it up. I think they look good. Put those in, put those part of the sticking. All right. Put this over to my little dump box. Do a quick little cleanup. How's everybody doing? How's it going? Any questions? Any ideas?
I think right now I'm just taking notes.
Sounds good. All right, just another quick recap. Coleslaw, we shredded it up. The apples, the carrots, the purple cabbage, the green cabbage. It's all there, it's all mixed. Bourbon barbecue sauce is looking great. It's getting thicker. You see it getting very thick, which is great. We have, sure. We have in the oven our chicken. Yeah.
That is going to go on the chicken once it comes out.
So what we're gonna do is about 10 minutes, 10 minutes before we take it out, we're gonna brush the barbecue sauce on the chicken. Give it a nice glaze. Once we brush it, we're gonna put it under a low broil, just so that barbecue sauce can caramelize. It'll get nice brown colors and caramelize. It's gonna be great. Then we typically, some people love to have, their meat smothered in barbecue sauce. I personally don't, but obviously if you want to, I prefer my barbecue sauce on the side, that caramelization on the chicken. I can add a barbecue sauce as I please. I want the barbecue sauce to overshadow the actual taste of the chicken itself. We didn't do all this flavor for nothing.
I got it. I think I'm gonna try that.
All right, that looks good. All right, let's put together our sauce for the coleslaw. So we have mayonnaise. Now, honestly, once again, if you want to substitute any of these ingredients, you can. I know it's different organic mayonnaise out there, different other things, vegan mayonnaise out there. It's different things you would substitute if you need to. Horseradish, one of my favorite things that a lot of people don't use. So horseradish is a root vegetable, similar to ginger, but on a spicier note. So this is a horseradish puree. Find that in the supermarket. It's pretty straightforward. We have, as always, some mustard, some sugar. So sugar is gonna break. This is white sugar. This is gonna break down the cabbage, the carrots. Then we have some apple cider vinegar. That's gonna loosen it up a little bit, add some acidity, and then salt and pepper. Usually I do to taste. I'll start with a little bit because I said you could always add more. You can never take it back.
A really good tip for people who use a lot of salt.
Yes, that's the worst thing. To go anywhere, eat anything, and get that salty taste in your mouth. It's a terrible taste, a terrible texture, feeling, and you can't. It literally kills your palate and destroys the rest of the meal. So once again, you can always add it, but you can't take it back once you add it too much. And once again, also another great tool is taste as you go. So the sauce looks good, taste it. That's great. Now at this point, like I said, it's your preference. You want to add more salt and pepper, you can. If you feel, it's not, you want to add a little more sugar, a little more sweeter, you can. But right now, I think it's great. Okay, so it seems like a little bit of sauce, but as the cabbage, everything breaks down, it's be more than enough. So let's add that to it.
Chef Cooley, the meal that we're preparing now, this is good for how many people? Like how many people can eat from this?
This is about 2 to 3 people.
Okay.
About 3, I'll say. Just mix this up. Now, I'm pretty sure you all had coleslaw at one point or another. My thing on coleslaw is I hate it when it's overly drenched in mayonnaise and it's just heavy. It's also those two types of coleslaw: vinegar based, which is more or less a clean cut salt that's clear. Then you have the mayonnaise based, which is, you said, that heavy, thick mayonnaise. It's, to me, I'm not a fan of it. I want to taste the lettuce. I want to taste the cabbage. I want to taste the carrots. I want you to have that texture. I want it to be wilted down and soggy. So as you see, sauce is more than enough. It's a great amount of sauce. It's combined pretty well. That's it. This is done. So what I'll do is put it to the side, to put it in the fridge. One thing down, two more to go. Check our barbecue sauce again. Make sure it's not sticking. It smells great. Take it off the heat. That is good to go. Clean up a little bit. Okay, get this out the way. Okay, what's next? Chicken's good, so it should be about time to take the chicken out. Man. Once again, the chicken is not done yet. We're just gonna take it out so you can brush it with that great bourbon barbecue sauce. It's coming along great. One of the great things that people should or need to have in their kitchen is a thermometer. This is on the middle level, but this is electronic, which is great, but this is everything to me. This check the temperature. You don't have to worry about overcooking, undercooking, and that worry goes away. And that's something that could drive you crazy.
Yeah. Can you tell us at what degree should the chicken be when we take it out and get ready to put that rub on?
Okay, so at this point, it's been in the oven for about maybe 20 minutes, I think, it would take. So right now, just checking to see where we at, get an idea of where we should go. So the ideal cooking temperature for dark bone-in chicken should be around 175. We want to get out around 170, 165, because as it sits in the pot, so once again, ceramic pot, it maintains heat, so this pot is still hot. So once we take out the oven, put it on the stove, it's still uncooked, the chicken. So it's only gonna jump up another 5 to 10 degrees. So let's check to see where are we at. I'll be good. We at about 160. $161.
I'm sure, though, for the sake of time, that you're gonna brush that stuff on for us so that we see how it looks broiled.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna stay on until it's done.
All right, so you're around 160, 155. So what we do is take some of this barbecue sauce. Also said you want this to run it down a bit more. Like I said, chicken still has to cook probably another 15 minutes. The boneless chicken breast is gonna be done before the dark meat. It will take 10 degrees. So for the amount of time we have left, I will probably take the chicken breast out and cut that and show you how great it looks. The rest of the meat, the rest of the legs and thighs, you probably want to cook for probably another, 15 minutes. That looks pretty good like that. The excess barbecue sauce, you can serve on the side. This is gonna run it down, create a nice conversation on the bottom. We leave it open. Let's get it back in.
Chef Cooley, before we went on remote working, were you like the, you know, for certain companies, they have holiday parties. Were you the one that would bring most of the food and everybody was like super excited? Oh, there's a holiday coming. Chef Cooley's gonna cook for us, and they were just waiting for your food? Or you just kind of like, this is your side gig passion, you keep it separate from full time, or do both worlds collide?
For the most part, try to keep it separate. But definitely, if it's an event with food, I can't say no to it. I'm gonna bring something that I like, something I think people enjoy, maybe a new recipe I'm trying out, like to give like a fresh taste on it. But yeah, why not? I mean, if you want food, like I love giving people food. I love serving people. I love people trying new things, experimenting with food. So all feedback is great feedback, in my opinion. And I love trying new things. So definitely, it all comes together.
And then at the end, would you give us like your information in case anyone wants to place an order for catering, or they just want to reach out, they have any questions? Would you be able to provide us with like your Instagram handle and your business information?
Sure. Any questions, any catering, even small talk. Yeah, love talking food. If you have any ideas, how to make this better, or if you try these recipes with something alternative, a different option, yeah, let me know. If you tried the barbecue sauce on fish, you try it on beef, let me know how it tastes. If you tried, instead of using sweet potatoes, you use bass, or you use cauliflower. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, I'm definitely open to the conversation. I'll definitely give you my handles, all my information, and love to hear from you. So right now we're checking to see where our sweet potatoes are. So the goal right now is just to get them tender. I think we might be there. Let's see. Almost. Excuse me. So right now it's breaking apart, which is great, but I'm still not as tender as you want them. So we want them tender as possible. So we go to mash them, we won't have those chunks of random pieces of sweet potato. So we wrap them up. Yeah.
I just started cooking because of the pandemic, which I'm sure a lot more people are probably experimenting like me as well. So I'm trying to get some ideas that are like quick, easy, but still impressive, non-professional meal for Valentine's Day. Do you have any suggestions?
Sure, for a type of meal. Something that's not too hard, something
Right.
you don't take all day to cook. I would definitely go with, I think one of my go-to is salmon. It cooks quick, it's easy. There's not a lot of work to it. Typically, it's the easiest way to do it. Buy a salmon fillet from the supermarket or your fish market. It's already deboned, it's already cut. We do seasoning with salt, pepper, a little bit of lemon juice. Put in the oven, maybe 20 minutes, and you're done. So you got the salmon. And sides, you can always play around with sides. You can do a nice simple Caesar salad with some garlic bread. You could do an easy butter pasta, your favorite pasta noodle or shape, little brown butter sauce, which is basically taking brown butter, put it in a pot, low heat, let it melt. Eventually you start seeing it turn brown. Add a little salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic, toss your pasta in it, add a little fresh Parmesan cheese, you're done. So a meal can probably take you 45 minutes and you're not stressing, trying to run around the kitchen, trying to find out how this works. Look at the recipe card, recipe book. What did I miss? Is it gonna work out? It's very easy, very stress relieving. So you have this beautiful salmon with a nice, okay, oven's doing good. So you have a beautiful piece of salmon under a nice pasta, nice green salad, and with nice little garlic bread.
Yeah, that sounds easy. Thank you.
Oh, anytime.
Or we can just place an order with you and throw away the wrapping and pretend we made it.
Like that idea.
I got you, girl.
Thank you. All right, so last thing. So once again, coleslaw is done. The sweet potatoes, waiting for it to get a little bit more tender. Chicken's looking great. We are probably about another 15 minutes out from me being cooked. Number 10 at 400, probably the last 5-10 minutes on broil. So keep monitoring that. So right now, we're gonna get into the sauce that we're gonna mix into the sweet potatoes. You can't just have plain regular baked sweet potatoes. First thing is butter.
Mm.
So you got about an 8-ounce stick of butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and honey. So, once again, we have our salt and pepper. Add a little bit now. And we'll save the rest on the side. And as we mash it, put together, if it needs more, we'll add more later. Once again, you can always add more and never take it back. All right, how we looking? Hopefully everybody's keeping up. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. I believe this video will be available to watch later on. You slow it down. Obviously, if you have any questions, reach out to me through any of my social media accounts. So what we have, I'm good. Mix this up.
So while that's cooking, I just want to say, I know that in the interest of time, some people may either be leaving work or if for those of us who are working remotely, if you can stay on, that would be awesome. You can see the final product. I will stay on. I'm not sure what our time limit here is. However, I do want to thank everyone for coming, for those who can't stay. And if you registered for this, you have already gotten the recipe for this with the ingredients, the measurements. I highly encourage that you use them. I will definitely be using them. I'm going to try this dish myself. I'll let it get back to you, Chef.
Sure, thank you. All right, just a little prep. Okay, so right now the butter's melting, mixing up a little bit. That's good. So what we'll do with this is turn it down to a low heat. Let that go. Okay, while we have the time, so once again, thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in. My name is Chef Cooley. My handles are for Instagram, Cooley's BBQ Catering. My email address is same thing, Cooley's BBQ Catering at Gmail. My website, same thing, www.cooliesbbqcatering.com. Any questions, any concerns, any ideas, please reach out. Yeah, thank you. So let's finish this up. We have another like about 10 minutes. Those that are staying for another like 15 minutes to let me wrap this up. I appreciate your time. It was Friday.
Can you say that IG handle one more time?
Sure, it's Cooley's, which is COOLEYS BBQ Catering, CATERING. Cooley's BBQ Catering.
Thank you.
Sure. Check the chicken. Looking good. Let's turn the chicken onto broil. right, so what I just did was I turned the chicken onto broil. So now this is caramelize all that beautiful barbecue sauce we put on it. So caramelize it, thicken it, and brown it, giving a nice little crust to it. So like I said, just for due to the time, we're gonna take the chicken breast out in a little while, and then the chicken thighs and legs should take another 10 minutes or give or take. But check the temperature, should be at 160, 175, give or take, to be done. So you want to say around that number. Chicken breast, once again, cooks quicker because there's no bones, there's no dark, it's not dark meat, so it cooks quicker. So at 165, we should be good. Let it rest, we're good to go. All right, that looks good. Turn this off. Right, let's get the sweet potatoes out. Take the sweet potatoes out, get them into another pot, mash them, add the sauce, taste, and take it from there. This is hot, so be very careful. Oh yes, Baba. This pot on low. Just add this slowly. Try not to burn yourself.
And Chef Cooley, if we don't want to use sweet potatoes, we prefer regular potatoes. Can we do that as well? The same ingredients, just use white?
Somewhat. Because now you're talking about mashed potatoes. The only thing is, are you talking about a regular Idaho potato, or you're talking about the white sweet potato?
You see, now you just confused me.
So,
I guess regular Idaho potatoes.
Yeah, so you could go more or less along a mashed potato route, which you can bake it, you could boil it, get it tender, but I definitely would add the sauce. The sauce would definitely not pair well with Idaho regular typical potato. I would stick to a regular mash with the butter, the garlic, the salt, the pepper. Leave the sweet components out of it.
Got it. Thank you.
Just add it in. Yeah, let's add in our beautiful sauce.
Can you just tell us how delicious it smells right now in your house?
Let's see. It smells great. It smells great. So right now, just slowly but surely just get to mashing. As you mash, as it heats on, it's gonna thicken. So it makes a little BBQ sauce to cover that up.
Chef Cooley, your video is off.
Oh, there we go.
Great. So we're doing this potatoes. We'll keep it in the back of the oven on low. Just make sure it stays warm and just dry it out a little bit more. That's good to go. Check our chicken. Good. A couple more minutes.
And Chef Cooley, do you have any tips for like parents who have picky eaters? Like how to introduce veggies in the food, or like, for example, the sweet potato that you're doing, would you sneak in some vegetables there for the kids, or just kind of like, what tips do you have for picky eaters, kids?
I'm so sorry about that. It was an issue with the phone. Can you repeat that question?
Do you have like any tips for, you're there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Your video is off.
Good.
Got it. Since you since your kids help you with in the kitchen, do you have any tips for picky eaters like kids? Do you feel it's beneficial to have them in the kitchen with you, and then that way you introduce them to new foods that they want to eat more, or it's just kind of like what they want to eat, leave it at that?
Kids are a little tricky. A lot of people get turned off, really adult kids, you get turned off by the process of cooking. Good thing is, other kids love the process of cooking their own meal and getting dirty or playing. So, say with my son, he loves chicken nuggets. So one day we made chicken nuggets from scratch. We bought the chicken cutlets, we cut it, we sliced it, buttered it, we fried it, and he loves it. He loves it. My daughter, she loves pasta, so she loves empanadas. So we did it from scratch. Bought the wrappers, we made the ground beef, we wrapped it, we fried it and baked it, and she loved it. Now my son loves tacos, same thing. You can find things that your kid like, teach them how to make it themselves, help them make it, and get them into the understanding of how to cook, what to cook, how it works, and then throw things in there. So I try to always give my kids that just keep on time. Sorry. So what I typically do is like my wife and I try to give our kids one new thing a day or every day. So like today is corn, today is broccoli, today is cauliflower. We try to give them at least one thing to try new a day to open their palates as they eat things they really like. So you may have pizza, or like another little piece of broccoli on the side.
Got it.
And it's funny, like one thing my son tried eggs and he loved it. My son tried tacos, he loved it. So they may like, with the kids, they like one thing one day and next day something, they're doing something different. So you gotta continuously expose them to new things. And eventually, before you know it, they be eating everything.
Thank you.
All right, so.
I do have one question, Chef. Someone in the group asked in the chat, what drink would you pair with this meal?
Which what?
What drink would you pair with this meal? Like a glass of wine? What drink would you pair with it? I mean, because we already have that bourbon in there, which I'm sure has simmered down. So what drink would you pair with it?
Well, I'll do a nice crisp white wine. Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, something on that line. Definitely not do a red wine because red wine tends to linger in your palate. And you want to have rich flavors in the red wine. You want something that's some level of acidity where a white wine refresh your palate every time you drink it. So something white, like I said, Pinot Grigio is one of my favorites.
Thank you so much. A good Chardonnay.
All right. So you see the picture, the chicken is done. Let's get the breast down, the breast. And resting means just let the chicken that's done at high heat, let it come down to a little bit of room temperature. All the juices, it's gonna contract back in and return to be juicy. So let that go. The sweet potatoes is done, post up is good. So we are about ready to plate.
This is my favorite part.
I was just gonna ask, Chef Cooley, what is your favorite part? Like preparing the meal, feeding, like seeing people's expression, or like decorating the plate?
I love every single stage of it. The process of cooking, the process of creating new ideas, the concept of someone trying something new. The plating, this is a huge part as it's a taste. People eat with their eyes. If it doesn't look appealing, you already have a negative thought in your mind that it's not tasty because it doesn't look good. So it's hard to bounce back from that. Now, if it looks good, you probably give it a 50-50, it will taste as good as you will hope it will. You go either way. But plating is just as important as how good the food tastes. Appearance of everything, people eat with their eyes, so you gotta play into all those factors. Chicken is resting. For the chicken breast, you don't want to cut it because again, all those beautiful juices are just flat out, drain out. So when it's resting, we'll cut and put the chicken on a plate as the last thing. Potatoes. Good. So let's feel good. Okay. Sorry. Little smear going. Put chicken breast out.
Now, is that a specific knife to cut meat?
No, it's actually a general knife. I love it because it's thin and it's lightweight, it's long, so it's fight. Either way about a knife is too short or worry about getting cut. But once again, it's good to have different options of knives and play around with them. But it just gives me nice, clean, sharp cuts. Almost there. So look at it. It's beautiful, nice and crunchy. You see the apples, you see the carrots. This beautiful chicken. Oh, let's start back a little bit. Good. Chicken. Wait, right. Oh, that looks good. I think that looks pretty good.
That looks incredible.
You got it. So again, it's not overly barbecue. It's not a ton of barbecue sauce. We building the flavor. So as you taste it, you should taste the barbecue sauce. You should taste the fire. You should taste the actual chicken that we brine. You should taste you see how juicy it is. It's just literally falling apart in your mouth. We got the acidity from the coleslaw, the crunchy apples. You got the sweet mashed potatoes. Just to round it out. You should hit the sweet, the tangy, the salty. You should hit all levels. And then you got the glass of Pinot Grigio. Clean your palate, and then start all over again. Hope you enjoy the time. Thank you so much. I know we ran a little bit over. We have, again, Cooley's Barbecue and Catering, Cooley's BBQ Catering, social media, website.
In an hour and 10 minutes. And 10 minutes of it, we kind of talked a little bit. So I feel like, to have a dish in an hour is amazing. It's pretty good. And it looks amazing. I wish that I could be there to taste it. I'm sure that mine is not going to come out just like yours, but I will definitely try. I want to thank the entire audience for staying with us and seeing this entire presentation and this scrumptious dish put together by our chef Cooley. Berenice, thank you so much. Nicole, thank you so much. And I don't know if Tanya had to drop off. I want to thank everyone, and I hope that you would join us next week in our additional African American, Black, and Caribbean resource event, which will take place on, I want to say Thursday. I have to look at the calendar. Yes.
It's the 24th. The 24th.
24th. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. So please, if you have not already registered, please do so. Again, I'd like to thank Chef Cooley. Tanya, do you want to say anything before we sign off?
No, I'm good. It looks really tasty. And thank you for my Valentine's Day.
Your tip.
It was really, really good. I really enjoyed this so much.
So
As
thank you.
always, it was a pleasure. Nicole,
Thank you
you're
so
on mute.
much. I appreciate it.
Nicole, you're on mute.
Yeah, she wants to say something.
I'm super hungry right now. And I'm an eater, so I would eat that plus. But it looks so good. And I'm not a cooker, and I followed the whole thing. Not to say that I followed it to cook it. And I got a lot of text messages.
Oh, I did.
A lot of jokes, a lot of text messages came through. Nicole, are you gonna get that really good pot? And I was like, no, not for me to eat it, but I will get it for my husband. He cooks. So, and he was listening, and he said, oh, apple coleslaw. Yeah. So now, so now I'm gonna have to look at the video, and I'm gonna get apple coleslaw. And since we can order the barbecue sauce on Amazon and Walmart, we're gonna get that too.
Yeah.
You did say Amazon Prime, 2 days. Valentine's Day is coming. My husband's cooking for me.
That is so awesome. You know what I like about this real quick? I like that it was so simple.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot that had to go into it. So
Like
that was
that it was kind of healthy. Like there was no frying, and like it wasn't this, and it wasn't messy. Like sometimes you see these cooking shows and you're like, oh, why did they add that? Like all of this made sense, which I appreciate, because sometimes we cook just like autopilot, but the fact that you broke it down and we understand why you're adding these ingredients, it really helped me be a better cook whenever I do cook again.
And you know, the funny thing is, like I said, I had the cook of my house. He cooks really well because he learned from his father. Go figure. And he was listening, and he heard you say brown sugar, and he was pleased with that. Like, that's more healthy, you know. So he was really pleased with what he heard. Now we got to go back and look at it, and now he's gonna try to like make me help him. But
Nicole, you have the outline, so you got
have
this.
the outline. I do have the outline. And the ingredients that we sent out beforehand. So
I'm sure this is easier than what we do every day at work. What you do every day at work. You got this.
You too, Bernice.
So thank you all. Lastly, I just want to thank our IT team. They're always in the background making sure that we get ourselves together. So thank you, Leanna. Thank you, Crystal. And hope everyone have a good weekend. Thank you all.
Yes. Happy Valentine's, everyone.
Thank you to the camera person.
Yes.
Good night.
Good